Welcome back to the Give and Go. I'm your coach Reynoso here with my boy
Soltero. What's up, y'all?
Full UEFA Champions League coverage. Subscribe to the channel. We're going to be covering this beautiful tournament for the entire season. And brother, is it getting exciting. We have some great headlines today. Some great ones with Kylian Mbappe, hat-trick to add on to his UCL tally. We're going to talk in depth about that. Atleti scoring 5 goals back-to-back times, bro. Yeah. Both in the league and now in the Champions League. But I think the biggest headline after seeing all the results today has to be the incredible, dare I say, historic victory for Turkish side Galatasaray defeating my beloved Liverpool 1-0 at home.
A 1-0 victory in front of a beautiful, raucous crowd in Istanbul. Galatasaray beating Liverpool 1-0, albeit at the hands of a soft penalty. But outside of that, I think it can be called. You just can't have a flailing arm, especially in today's modern game. It gets called. Osimhen steps up. He makes it 1-0 for Galatasaray. But beyond that, what I really was impressed by in this match from this Turkish side was their commitment off the ball. They never let Liverpool get going offensively. After 2 passes, they were met with 3 Galatasaray defenders for the entire 90 minutes. Liverpool's offense was flustered the entire time. And because of that work rate, because of the press for the entire match, Galatasaray holds on and seals the 1-0 victory.
I think the game plan from Galatasaray was perfect today, bro. Honestly, they looked like a Premier League side today because what I liked so much about their game plan and their execution was how they matched Liverpool's physicality, bro. They were not afraid of these Liverpool players. Even though the price tags might be different for each player individually, on the pitch, they went head-to-head, and they looked like a prime Burnley side, the way they bunkered in and stopped every single one of Liverpool's attacks, and then were ultimately very good about executing in those small chances that they had. After that, I mean, Galatasaray didn't really do much offensively. It was all Liverpool trying to break them, but Galatasaray just held strong. Great performances from Davison Sanchez in that back line, and they get a huge result. You combine that with the incredible atmosphere that they showcased at home, I think Galatasaray absolutely deserved the victory today against a very mediocre Liverpool side.
Yeah, mediocre, man. Liverpool could not figure out Galatasaray's press. Again, Osimhen, Yilmaz, and Akun, the front 3 for Galatasaray, caused so much trouble in Liverpool's midfield. There were several times where Liverpool just couldn't handle the pressure, an errant pass was made, and Galatasaray were off to the races. There was a moment, I think, that Osimhen honestly could have gotten a second goal, but he puts it pretty much right at Alisson. It's a good save. Somehow stretches Alisson because he has to go off after that. And we just see this year in, year out now at this point. Alisson just getting injured.
He was out of position on that play, so he had to run back. And I think in the process of running back, he pulled something. And he's just goalkeepers tend to experience injuries like that. So in comes Marvadashvili. I think we're going to be seeing him for the next couple of weeks now.
Absolutely. But I like Galatasaray's performance here. Again, for me, it was just every single player's work rate that really stood out. I need to see this away from home for Galatasaray.
Oh,
if they can repeat this, then I think Galatasaray will be a very fun team in the playoffs.
I agree. If they can repeat this, that's the huge point here because they're coming off of an absolute beating against Frankfurt. Yeah. It's like 4-1, 5-1, where after seeing them in that game away from home, I was counting Galatasaray out of this tournament completely, bro. So this is a huge result. That's why I think for them, for their momentum, for their hopes to stay alive in the Champions League, this is huge. Mentally, it's going to benefit them a lot. I want to see it happen again for good things to come for this Turkish side. For Liverpool, I think my analysis is very, very simple, bro. Not good enough.
Yeah.
Just not good enough. This is a team that I have championship title aspirations for in this tournament. Not good enough. You look all across the pitch, bro. I can't think of a single player that played above a 6 out of 10 in this game, dude. Yeah. The touches were off. They got out-muscled, out-hustled in this game. And honestly, they just didn't want it as bad as Galatasaray did at the end of the day. And it showed, bro. These players did not show up today. They were confused altogether. Everyone was so individualistic. And for me, it's not so much tactics, but just want the emotion in this game, the emotion in these players. It's just not good enough. Has to be better. Has to be sharper at the end of the day because, yes, Galatasaray had a great game, a great game plan, but we still do have the quality and the talent to beat them despite that. It wasn't shown today. today. Bad result from Liverpool just all around.
Absolutely. It was so sloppy, man. I mean, there were so many moments in this match where Liverpool had the ball, but they could not do anything with it. There was almost zero threat from the offense. There was no synchronicity. There were so many errant passes, and not even Verts today. It was everybody. Everybody from an offensive perspective could not make the simple passes. They weren't sharp. It was very frustrating to see if you were cheering for Liverpool in this match. And I think what Palace and now Galatasaray have shown, if you press this team, they won't be able to figure it out right now offensively. There's too many players out of form, so they'll just get flustered. And the defense can keep them in matches, but they've also shown that there's still holes in this defense too. So I think the way to beat Liverpool right now is you just have to have a really good press. You execute that, Liverpool's beatable.
100% right now, and that's a huge concern because this team should not be having these gaps in terms of the players that we have. My only hope is that with more games being played together as a team, with a more consistent lineup, eventually that gets shored up, that gets fixed. But as of right now, this is, I think, a low point in our season. Yes, it's very, very early. I'm not raising huge alarms or huge concerns. I still do think we're contenders for this trophy, but it just has to be better. And my expectation is that it will get better, whether it's in the next game or within the next few 4 games that we see from the Liverpool side. It has to be better with the type of players that we have.
Yeah, this was the worst performance, I think, for the season by far for Liverpool. So I'm expecting Slot to sit this whole team down after this match and be like, boys, let's play fucking football. All right? So I'm definitely expecting a change over these next couple weeks because this was bad.
Yeah, for real. Slot spanking them in the locker room. Guys, get it together, boys. Get it together. With my beloved Liverpool being at a low point right now, it's amazing that your beautiful Atleti is suddenly on a high point. It's crazy how football can change in a slate of 1 week, bro.
Yeah.
3 now. Good results for Atletico as they just defeated Real Madrid in the league, but now follow that up with back-to-back performances, scoring 5 goals again at home against Frankfurt.
Simeone taking the Frankfurt defender to the cleaners. Little deflection, but it finds Raspadori, who scores in the 4th minute for Atletico, and it's pure ecstasy, man. We basically continued the performance that we put on against Real Madrid. It's almost as if the team didn't leave the Metropolitano. Like, we just stayed there for the last couple of days, kicking the ball around, and then, Frankfurt's here. Let's keep it going.
It did seem like that, man.
Because the energy was the exact same. The aggression on and off the ball was the exact same that we saw against Real Madrid. This ultimately was a very easy win for Atletico from the get-go. Lenormand pretty much puts this game to bed by the 30th minute, 2-0, and then we go on to score 3 more.
Yeah, I saw the first 30 minutes. Once Lenormand got that second one, I switched off. But even in just those first 30 minutes, it just felt like one of those games on FIFA when you got a 3-star team and you're playing against a 5-star team and nothing's going your way, bro. Because those touches in the box weren't that inventive from Atletico Madrid. Even that first goal, bro, it was not that crazy what they were doing. But it just wasn't working for Frankfurt, man. The clearances weren't going their way. The touches, the way of the ball, nothing was working for them. And then when I checked back and saw that they had conceded 5, I was like, yeah, that kind of is where this game was trending.
Yep.
I'm happy that Atletico Madrid was able to take advantage, though, of those opportunities. And good to see Griezmann get his 44th goal in the UEFA Champions League. And then I believe his 200th goal wearing the Atletico Madrid jersey. Historic goal for Atleti's GOAT, man.
Oh, 100%, man. I mean, he's going to go down as probably one of the greatest players in Atleti's history ever. I'm talking for the rest of time for Atletico. And it's just good to see him still play at this level. You know, obviously in a more rotational type of role for Atletico now, but he's still getting goals. He's still getting assists. Beautiful to see for, my opinion, one of the most underrated players of all time. But now for Atletico going for it. So we've done it against Real Madrid, who, you know, don't have a fully identifiable team yet under Xabi Alonso. They're still figuring things out. Okay. Now we did it against Frankfurt, who I think expectedly do have a bad defense. They have a bad defense. Now we need to do it at the weekend on the road against Celta. This is where we lose the league. It's not, it really isn't these tight games. You know, we play well in the Champions League. It's on the road against Celta.
That's so funny.
So now if we can repeat this performance this weekend, okay, then I think things are really on the turning point for Atleti.
Wow. Low-key, you're more nervous for Celta than you were for Madrid.
I really am.
Yeah.
Like, I'm actually very nervous going to this weekend because I'm like, bro, we're not at the Metropolitano this weekend. Celta can really just bunker in if they want to. But if we score 2-3 goals against Celta, then I think Simeone's figured something out.
Life of an Atleti fan right there. Life of an Atleti fan. Let's go over to the other Madrid team here. Real Madrid going over to Kairat Almaty Stadium and putting in a great performance. 5-0 result with the most informed man on the planet right now, Kylian Mbappe, scoring a hat-trick as he ties Ruud van Nistelrooy for UCL goals all time. He's now in 6th place. Mbappe with 60 goals to his name, bro. Wow. For context, I just said Griezmann had 44, and he's way older, played more games, I believe. Mbappe's already at 60, 15 goals and assists in his last 8 games in all competitions, and just some really, really good calculated finishes in this game. And then Camavinga and Brahim Diaz also getting on the scoreboard here. Ultimately, an expected result for Real Madrid, but cool to see that spectacle happen in Kairat Almaty's beautiful stadium.
Yeah, and honestly, when you look at the first 2 goals they conceded, kind of going to put it on the keeper for Kairat. If they had a better keeper, I think they could have kept this game a little tighter for a little longer. Although I think Madrid were always going to win this game. For Kairat, I think this was just a really cool homecoming for this club to receive such a big team like Real Madrid. And honestly, I'd say play well for about an hour. I think if you watch Kairat here and you watch their game against Sporting, you see why they've earned this chance to be in the league phase of the Champions League. They're a really well-disciplined side. They play good football. Just, the quality's not going to be that high.
Do you think Haaland, who's at 50 goals right now in the UEFA Champions League, and Mbappe, who's at 60, have a chance of breaking the UCL record of 141 goals by CR7?
What's Haaland at?
Haaland's at 50.
Wow, okay.
Mbappe's at 60, and there are more games that you're able to play now in the Champions League with the new format.
And Mbappe's 26, so he's had...
Got to get 81 more to just tie Ronaldo.
80 more? Damn, bro.
Yeah.
I think, if Mbappe... for the next 6 years still performs at this level, he'll have 120, 130 goals, and then he'll be out of his prime.
Right.
So then he would need 20 more goals as a veteran, which I think is doable for Mbappe if he plays for like 5 more years just to get 20.
True.
So I would say for Mbappe, definitely doable. Definitely doable.
I think it really is about how do they perform post 33, 34 years old, because that's where Ronaldo really, really shined and went crazy. I think they're going to get very, very close, though. I do. And I do think one of them will break the record.
Yeah.
I do, with the amount of games that are played now. It's, I think, additionally 2 more games that you're able to play now in the group stage, which helps.
And if you make the play in, that's 2 more games.
True, yeah.
So there's technically 4 more games potentially.
I had some fun just with Mbappe. I wanted to make this about Mbappe. He really got me thinking, what are the current Ballon d'Or standings as of this moment, 1 through 5? Here's my 5. You tell me what you think about it. At number 5, I have Michael Olise, who's going crazy with Bayern Munich. Numbers are nuts. Scored today as well.
Okay.
I was going to put Yamal, but he's been injured so far in these first months, I think eventually he'll get in there. Number 4, I have Pedri. Masterclass in the midfield. You got to put him in there.
You have to.
Number 3, I have Erling Haaland. Crazy numbers to start. I think he scored in damn near every single game. 2, I have Kane.
Okay, good. You have to have Kane in here. Okay, that's all I cared about.
Gotta have Kane in here, man. And I have him above all the players I just mentioned. Kane is number 2 for me. Number 1, Mbappe.
Yeah, I think Mbappe's goal-scoring numbers right now are just ridiculous, and so are Kane's. And because of that, for me, they're the 2 most informed players right now in Europe. Yeah. I love the list.
You think Pulisic should be at 5?
Nah, I'd say Pulisic is maybe like 8.
Yeah.
Maybe 9.
Yeah. Which is crazy in of itself. Let's move on to the next game. We had Chelsea host Benfica in the return of the special one. Jose Mourinho coming back to the land where he was able to acquire such a big name for himself, become a legend after his incredible stint at FC Porto, goes to Chelsea, wins Champions Leagues, wins the title there, wins domestic trophies, and unfortunately loses here 1-0 to what could be deemed Chelsea's B, maybe even C team, but ultimately a team good enough to defeat one of Portugal's finest.
Yeah, and that's kind of how I took this game. Yes, it was tight, and Benfica played hard against Chelsea. You look at the goal they conceded. It's an own goal by Richard Rios as he just couldn't quite make the clearance. But look, just watching the rest of this game, Benfica could not generate a genuine chance. They just couldn't do it. And Chelsea themselves never looked that uncomfortable. Yes, it was tight the entire match, 1-0. You would like more from Chelsea, but they never looked stretched. They never looked desperate defending against Benfica. I think 1-0 is fair. I think Chelsea were always going to win this match.
Yeah, I think I like this result a lot for Chelsea specifically because I have a lot invested in Premier League teams this year. I think with what we saw in the offseason, the spending that came from England, I think the gap got even bigger between the Champions League teams that are from England and every other squad in Europe. And so I expect Chelsea to get a result here, even if it's their B team against one of Portugal's best teams. I'm glad they got that result. That's what makes me even more mad about that Liverpool result today. And we'll get to some other results that happened today as well. But for this moment, for this game, I'm happy they got the result with a lesser squad, in my opinion, than what they could actually field. Because, I mean, Joao Pedro had an appearance, red card, but he didn't start this game.
Yeah.
No Cole Palmer, one of the best players in the world. They didn't have their A team out there fully. So good result for Chelsea, especially after coming off of 2 disappointing results in the league.
Yeah. I think I'm with you. This was really good appearances from fringe players like Buonanotte, for example. So I think Maresca was able to use a lot of his depth, which he should, considering he has so much of it. And knowing that Benfica, especially this year and what we've seen even last year, Benfica's not expected to win this game. So I agree with you. Chelsea were expected to win. They got the result. Good. Now let's move on from here and see if they can continue a win streak here.
I want to talk about expectations, man. Bayern Munich, Pafos FC. I think everyone only expected one thing to happen in this game, despite how admirable Pafos played in their first game, where they're able to get a tie despite being a man down to start off their Champions League debut. They're hosting one of the most informed teams in the world, and they got cooked. They got beat 5-1, and honestly, a game that, as a Pafos fan, I wouldn't feel bad about because Orsic scored, in my opinion, the goal of the day, bro. Yeah. A golazo to light up these fans at home and to just have that highlight to look back on. We got a banger on Bayern Munich despite receiving 5.
An absolute banger. I think it's their first Champions League phase goal in their history. So a massive moment for Pafos in front of their home crowd. But yes, you're playing, for me, a top 2 side in the world right now. You were always going to lose this game. Bayern's just too strong. 8 goals. They lead the Champions League in offense, right? 8 goals in 2 matches.
Damn.
And they have 22 goals in the Bundesliga right now.
God.
22 goals in only 5 matches played.
I think, isn't statistically the best start to a Bundesliga season, I believe, is what I saw.
Shit, I wouldn't be surprised.
Numbers-wise, they've never scored this many games this soon, this early into the Bundesliga year. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Company unlocked them, I guess.
Dude, for real, 22. That's more than 4 goals a game average, bro.
God.
That's stupid.
That's
stupid numbers. It's literally like putting your opponent on easy mode in FIFA, man. Like, Jesus, man. Don't average that much. Nobody does. So Bayern are doing really unprecedented things offensively right now.
Yeah, and it's led by Harry Kane, who now has 44 UEFA Champions League goals. I think that puts him now 1 above Griezmann. And Olise getting a goal in here as well. I just think it's the combination of Kane, Olise rising another level this year, and Luis Diaz playing incredible too. This offense, I think, is figured out. It is maximized. And I think good things are coming for Bayern Munich. Absolute title contenders in this tournament. Just expect a result here, 5-1. Let's move on over to Tottenham going up against Bodo Glimt in a game that was actually super entertaining, bro. Yeah. Super entertaining as Bodo goes up 2-0 in this match with fiery offense, with a first half where they should have scored a goal but couldn't, despite having a penalty that they missed themselves. They get a goal in the second half. Tottenham responds, but it gets disallowed. Yeah. They scored a second goal. It looks like they're going to get the victory, but then Tottenham showcases that class, that want, that fire, and they tied this match 2-2 to salvage a point in Bodo.
Yeah, this game was crazy. It was just end-to-end, really fun offensive football from both sides, actually. I love Bodo Glimt's brand of football. It's brilliant. They have a really decisive passing style, and they're knockout passes. They break the lines of defense, and they're really surprising, too. They really try to keep the ball on the ground. It's really pretty to watch. So Bodo Glimt playing a really fun style of football. And Tottenham themselves, honestly, we know the type of players that they have, and they really hit out at Bodo as well. I think a draw is fair because, yes, Bodo Glimt got 2 goals and they missed a penalty themselves, but Tottenham were super offensive in this match. They hit the crossbar at one point off of an Odo Bear header. Van de Ven had a goal disallowed due to him pulling the jersey. It's just the look of it is bad.
I know, but...
It was ultimately indirect too. I get it. I think it is the right call, but Tottenham played very good offense in this match, and I think deserved a couple goals themselves. I think a draw is fair, but Jens Hauge, dude, with 2 golazos in this game. The first one, a nice little double fake, cuts back on the inside, and in the second one, a beautiful shoulder drop to shift the ball to his other foot, and then he blasts it, curls it to the other side of the goalkeeper. 2 gorgeous goals from Jens Hauge to just, give the fans an absolute show.
Yeah, and it's nothing new. After seeing their first game, which was also a 2-2 result, this Bodo offense is really, really fun. Entertain me here. Just entertain me. Because watching them work offensively, how you mentioned with their decisive passing, the way they can pass the ball around the box, I'm thinking prime Manchester City, the one that won the Champions League, the poor version. The Timu version.
Yeah.
Right? The discount version. I think that's what this Bodo offense is, man.
It's fun.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. There's weapons, and then they do have a knack of scoring high-quality finishes, which is kind of crazy for a team of this caliber. I think Bodo's got something special, bro, and now tying a Premier League side and seeing their fans at home, seeing the excitement, I think they can definitely challenge for a feisty knockout performance against either an elite squad, or if they're playing a team that's kind of at the same level as them, they can win, bro, and they can make a fun run.
And this is what the Champions League is all about. This is why I watch it every year, because I want to see new teams showcase the brilliant football that they play in their domestic league and show the world what they can do on the pitch. Bodo Glimt is the example of that. They've been building this project for the last 5 years. Bodo Glimt didn't get European football until 2020, 2021.
It's crazy.
And now finally they're in their first Champions League phase ever. This is their debut, and they're playing good football like this, man. It's awesome to see. Another fun fact about this team, they lie geographically within the Arctic Circle. They are the northernmost team to ever qualify for the Champions League.
Wow.
They're bringing a level of football to a place that has never seen it before. So
crazy.
This is an insane time to be a Bodo Glimt fan.
You think they're the best team outside the top 5? They haven't won yet. They tied 2 games, and Union Saint-Gilloise has put in a great performance in the match day 1. Galatasaray just got a big result against Liverpool. Club Brugge, I was thinking they were going to be that team, but then that result, we'll talk about that in a second. But is Bodo that team right now, or who would be the best team as of right now that's outside the top 5 leagues that you think is performing in the Champions League?
I'm going to wait, because if Saint-Gilloise beat Newcastle tomorrow, I'm going to definitively say it's them.
Bro. It's definitely them. Let's go over to Atalanta Club Brugge, where I thought I was watching potentially the best team outside the top 5. And maybe they can become that at the end of the league phase. But in this game, they go up 1-0 against Atalanta. And then my boy Yackers loses his head a little bit. Way too relentless on that rush out, in my opinion. There was no business to go for it, bro. You could see it on the TV as it was happening. You're not going to get there, Yackers. You're not going to get there. Doesn't come close. It's a penalty. 1-1, and then your boy Yunus Musa with the game-winning assist to feed Pasalic makes it 2-1. Atalanta wins this game. Really good comeback for them at home, but it honestly feels, as a person who played goalkeeper, that knowing how Yackers thought in those moments, he's going to regret his performance and honestly put the blame on him in this match, because definitely shifted the momentum.
Absolutely. That's exactly what I was just about to say. Once that penalty goal went in, Atalanta did really well to just maintain that pressure. And ultimately, Bruges collapsed to it. They concede off of a cross where Musa gets a really nice flick to go backside of the goal and it gets pushed in. Atalanta win at the death. But overall, this match really was back and forth, though. Solis himself scored an absolute banger to give Bruges the early lead in this match. It really was end-to-end, where Bruges would have spells of possession, but then Atalanta would get the ball and, knock it around for 15, 20 minutes, and all of a sudden Bruges were having to defend. This was a really tight match. I think Brugge are a little unlucky, but I do think it's just down to that individual error from Yackers. A draw would have been fair, but Atalanta did enough with the opportunities they were given to get the win.
Yeah, I gotta wonder how this game looks if Mignolet is starting in goal, man.
Yeah.
Gotta wonder. Regardless, good result for Atalanta, 3 points here. Let's move on to Marseille versus Ajax, where I had two very clear takeaways. One, Marseille is here to play.
Dude.
Two, the Dutch teams aren't. They're just not, man. Got killed today. Marseille cooking on all cylinders. After a good, solid performance against Real Madrid, they host Ajax and destroy them 4-0.
Yeah. That second point really rings loudly because, well, it was PSV and Feyenoord last year who made round of 16 appearances, and we're solid in their endeavors. But this year, it's been a slow start for Dutch teams, man. Really slow, bro. If they don't fix it soon, it's going to be more 4-0 results.
Yeah.
Because this game was done by the 15th minute, and you could see even without the goals. Dude, Ajax got smothered, man. Dude. What a performance from Marseille. And if we have any French fans that watch this show, hook us up with some Marseille tickets, bro. I will buy us plane tickets because these home games look absolutely ridiculous. Yeah. They've completely changed De Zerbi's personality. So I did not see this at Brighton. He's screaming now on the pitch. He's completely changed who he is, and I love it, man.
Yeah.
The way Marseille's playing right now, that honestly reminds me of 2014 Atletico, where they absorb a lot of pressure, but once they get that ball, they move up the pitch in an instant. Aubameyang with some really nice assists today, and it was Igor Paixão with two beautiful goals. The first one just passing the ball into the back of the net off a really nice counter, and the second one was just an absolute golazo from Igor Paixão. This was a brilliant performance. Greenwood wants to get in on this. He scores a really nice goal as well. Complete performance from Marseille, 4-0.
I'm even more interested to go to their games because did you see the banner they had pre-game?
I actually didn't.
They had a banner that said in bold letters, "Fuck Ajax."
That's what I'm talking about.
FCK, no you, right. I mean, I think that's what they meant.
That's
right?
definitely what they meant.
And then everyone online, I saw it on Reddit. Everyone was like, "What's the beef here?" And no one answered. No one knows.
There's no beef.
It was
That's
just
who
fuck.
they are.
It was just. I guess so.
Yeah.
I guess so. Huge result. I think they're here to play in the Champions League. And I think it's really fun because they could be a really feisty team outside of the elite big name squads. Marseille's more in that second tier. I think they could definitely pose to be a threat in this tournament. Let's go over to the last game of the day. Inter Milan defeats Slavia Prague 3-0. Very expected result at home. Lautaro Martinez double and Dumfries getting involved here. Slavia Prague just unable to really phase this Inter Milan side.
Yeah, I did not catch this game. This is the only one where I didn't see a single second of. But I expected Inter to win at home. This is still a team that can compete. This is still a team in Inter who I think can make another deep Champions League run, especially if they get favorable draws in the process. So 3-0, good result against Slavia.
Yeah, I only saw the goals, but the first goal that Slavia Prague conceded was a complete giveaway. The goalkeeper gets a heavy touch on the ball, literally lands at Lautaro's feet. He just taps it in. It's the most simple giveaway. And after that, I think that kind of defined the match. So Inter wins 3-0 here, 3 full points. Let's go over to awards of the day. I already mentioned goal of the day is going to have to be that Ursic finish. It was ridiculous against Bayern Munich for me. Although in close second, I'm going to put Mbappe's third goal where there was a really nice interplay between, I think it was Rodrigo and then maybe Arda Güler, and then Mbappe gets at the end of it. The touches are really, really nice. Beautiful Mbappe finish. That's second place for me. But first is going to be Ursic.
Let's go first, Ursic. For me, my second favorite goal of the day was actually Hauga's. Both were really good. I think that first one, just because it just seemed like it came out of nowhere. He completely bamboozled Bodo with his footwork, and then he curled it to finish. Just a beautiful goal.
Yeah. Give me your performance of the day. Brace from your boy, Bodo, or hat trick from Mbappe?
Actually, performance, I think Hauga himself, if he doesn't pull off those individual feats, I don't know if Bodo get 2 goals. So I think individual performance, I'll go Hauga.
Sure, I'm cool with that because, Mbappe faced a much weaker opponent in my opinion.
Yeah.
Let's go with him. Game of the day. Game of the day. You know, I'm actually going to go, despite it's my team losing, I'm going to go that Galatasaray match, bro. The atmosphere is ridiculous. The fans got what they wanted, and they deserved that result. There was no robbery. There was no controversy. They beat Liverpool today, and it was history in Turkey.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. I'll actually go Bodo Tottenham just because there was a moment where it looked like Tottenham were going to win. There was a moment where it looked like Bodo were going to have a historic win at home. You really couldn't call it in real time, and I just love that unknown, that uncertainty you get when two teams are just attacking each other nonstop. So for me, game of the day, Bodo against Tottenham.
Champions League is back, folks. Subscribe to the channel for full coverage of this amazing tournament, and we will be back tomorrow with Barca versus PSG, man. That's going to be a fun one. Till next time, guys. Peace.